Okay, welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. This is part number 47, and we are going to start the Frozen Wilds DLC. So, we're going to come talk to this guy. Get the right arrows selected. And see what he has to say about Ban-Ur.
Our Sun King? Traitors, the whole tribe of them.
What's the problem?
Betrayal. By my own blood. I was meant to go on a machine hunting expedition to the Banuk Wilds with real hunters. Then the rumors began. New machines, an evil miasma, many dead Banuk, and so on and so forth. So my father won't allow me to go. Says there's too much danger for a noble scion.
Do you always do what your father tells you?
Yes, of course.
Have you ever actually hunted machines?
I've had our bearers carry a lance horn for me to shoot at. Its movement was fearfully realistic.
What kind of new machines?
That's exactly it. My father doesn't even know. He only heard whispers in the Sun Court.
And the evil miasma?
Who knows what those tent-dwelling savages consider evil? Or a miasma. I just want to hunt, honestly. Why even give me a sword for my 16th year? What's a sword for, if not for brandishing?
Hunting in the Banuk Wilds. Do you mean Ban-Ur?
Oh, no. That's so far from the sun's light. The expedition would be swallowed up. It's a place they call the Cut. Something of a no man's land from,
The war?
But now it makes for excellent hunting. There's a pass through the northeastern mountains.
I guess I'll have to look into these rumors myself.
It's beyond the Grave Horde, past the northeastern mountains. You can't mean to go alone to that sun-forsaken place. I suppose Outlanders can do whatever they please. By the sun, if only I wasn't born noble!
Yeah, sounds tough.
Okay, so I guess we're not going to Ban-Ur. I remember that wrong. But we are going to the Cut. Is what it's actually called. So, give ourselves a marker there for, so we have a little bit better directions. But it is the Cut, and it is the Banuk's homeland, and it's only the third tribe's kind of homeland that we're going to
Bandits try to get past me. They'll have a fight. Mark my words.
Actually get to see. Obviously, this area, Meridian, is more or less where we're at now, is home to the Karja. The Nora tribe is, in the Sacred Lands there where we started the game. And this will be the Banuk's land. So we never got to go to the Claim. We never got to go south where the Tanakh are from. There's quite a few places that we never did get to see for ourselves and just read about or hear about from various quest givers and all that stuff. But the Cut, and that guy, I will say, that guy, for a 16-year-old, has quite some facial hair. I personally had quite a bit of facial hair when I was that age, but certainly nothing like that. But the Cut is, yeah, he was right about the Cut being dangerous, though. At least his father was. And I've talked about this quite a bit, probably more in the supplemental episodes, so if you skip those, then, I'm sure I talked about it in the main series too, but, yeah, it's definitely a dangerous place. But in the last supplemental episode, if you didn't watch it, 46.5, we went through and we got our Blue Gleam. We have 4 Blue Gleam that we traded for in Meridian, which is a currency that's used in the Cut. that we will need, and we need everyone that we can get to buy everything that we can. And again, we're going for 100% completion, so we need it. And I also picked up all of the machine parts that we needed for the armors that we're missing. I'm not going to go look into it right now because we still have quite a distance to travel here before we get to the cut. But we have all the hearts that we need, and basically we're just short on shards. So the only thing we're missing for 100% completion of the base game is, I would say, 5 or 6 pieces of armor, all of which cost, on average, probably 4,000 shards. You can see I have less than 1,700 currently, and then to actually do the final mission of the base game, that is going to be a while before we actually do it. You know, we're going to finish up everything in the cut before we go do that. So that's probably going to be quite a few parts from now. But I will say that the difficulty in the cut ramps up considerably. And I've died a number of times in this playthrough already. Given that, you know, it is a bit of a challenge playthrough. That's kind of been the whole point of it. I'm gonna go the safe route to avoid the Stormbird, because I've had enough of them. But, I'm gonna die more in this than I have in the base game. Probably by quite a bit. If I remember right, there's a number of fights that are just absolutely absurd. And so I think what I'm going to do instead of just leaving everything in is, if I end up, you know, on one fight dying like 50 times or whatever, I'm not going to leave it all in. I'm not going to force you to sit there and watch me die repeatedly to the same fight over and over and over and over again. So what I'll probably do is kind of like a montage kind of thing, where for each death, I'll leave in the last like 10 or 15 seconds of it. So you'll see each death, but you won't have to watch the lead up to every single one. And I think that's going to be our solution to that. Just so we don't have like 6 parts on one fight. Because, yeah, it would be ridiculous. But, and you could tell when we just talked to that guy, that young guy who wanted to, I can unmark that campfire. And then that's gonna be, yeah, that'll work. But like the facial animations are improved quite a bit. I would say I assume they use mocap in some capacity to do that. That looks like it was a lot better. It looks like they learned quite a bit from making the base game and really went to town and really improved upon themselves in the facial animations, the voice acting, the mocap, motion performance, as someone I'm sure will yell at me, is, you know, what it actually is or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely improved quite a bit. So if you had the complaint of you know, the facial animations, especially like the mouth animations when people are talking and things like that, it's going to be much better for the rest of this. And there is a sawtooth wandering around here and some other machines, and we don't need to worry about that too much. And we're gonna let these people handle their own problems. They'll be fine. And take out these watchers just for the hell of it. Take up our, you know, 4 shards worth of shit from them. And there's also, in the cut, there's a bunch of weapons and armor that we can buy, and we'll need shards to increase the carrying capacity of the ammo of those weapons, and it's going to be a whole thing. But we're still going to do the 100% completion, meaning we're going to get all of the armors and stuff, and we'll just have to we'll do a supplemental episode for the Frozen Wilds DLC area, just to anything that we don't get done in the base game, or in the main series, I should say. We'll take care of in a supplemental episode, and then we'll probably have to do another one to finish farming up all the shards and stuff. But if you watched the last one, at the end of it, I went and overrode. There was that Thunderjaw site that had 2 Thunderjaws in it, and we overrode one of them, and then the other one just completely destroyed it immediately, and then we just took out the other Thunderjaw, you know, the old-fashioned way, freezing it and fucking it up. And we got quite a few shards out of that. It was actually a pretty lucrative experience. So, we're probably going to use that to farm up shards to buy all the armors and stuff that we need. And again, that'll be in a supplemental. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I think that's going to be our alright. Some shell walkers here that I don't want to fight. But yeah, I think that's going to be our method of acquiring the last things we need before we can finish up the game. And it's probably going to take a while, you know. Just wanna, there we go. And it's probably going to take a while. But it'll all be there if you want to watch it. If not, that's fine. I'm recording this for me anyways, so, you know. We had a little bit of a run here. I thought about getting a mount, because I have the ability to just call one in and, you know, using a mount to travel, but screw it. We'll just make this a longer episode. I figured I'd have enough to talk about to last until we got there, and that didn't necessarily end up being the case, but that's okay. Maybe we can jump up here. No, doesn't look it. Alright, well, we'll just swim downriver, I guess. Oh, wait. Nope. Maybe?
Damn.
Hey, there we go. And we're just gonna let those random events take place and not get involved in them because we're already done with this area in its entirety. And I'm far more interested in finally getting to the cut. Where are we? Why does it feel like I'm going in the wrong? Okay. We'll just mark that merchant. Yeah, that makes more sense. So we have pretty decent equipment. We have our stealth armor is pretty solid. We could use some better stealth mods in it, but we'll live without it. All of our weapons, we have all the shadow weapons and the lodge weapons, and you know, modded out, and it's not all the best mods that we could ever possibly have, but you know, we'll get more. We'll have more mods. We'll find more mods during this DLC and fix that. And plus, most of the weapons that I don't have like great mods for are weapons that I don't really use all that often, so... In fact, I might, at some point, take a little bit of time to, go through and take like the handling coils out of the rope caster and put those in you know, different weapons that I actually do use on a regular basis. And this is the Grave Horde, which we did a long time ago. Found out some interesting story related stuff in here. Zip line down that rope. Which again, the first time I did that Grave Horde, I didn't know you could do that, so I like ran down all those things, and yeah, it was a whole thing.
This must be the pass Ravid was talking about, with Banuk territory just above.
And now it's gonna start getting cold. Oh, a nice health potion. Okay, where do we go from here? Here we go.
What are you doing, Aloy? This path leads to the cut. The Banuk have nothing to offer besides useless mysticism. The Eclipse won't stand idle while you waste time playing in the snow. Return to your desk.
Surprised you're still checking up on me. I thought you had moved on.
Well, forgive me for still being concerned with the fate of the world.
I was thinking, Banuk shamans thread blue cables through their skin, right? Kind of like someone else we know, huh? So maybe the real reason you want me to stay clear of the Banuk is to stay clear of your past.
It's not the past that concerns me, Aloy. It's the future. Or possible lack thereof. Which is why you should stop prattling and get back to what matters. But as usual, you'll do as you wish.
Touchy.
I mean, he's right. I will do what I wish. Also, it's a video game, so it's fine. Okay.
This one's a new predator. I can see the heat coming off it.
This is the new one of the new machines. It's called a Scorcher. Its body's weak to freeze, which is good because I like freeze. It has some blaze canisters, has a mine launcher, which is weak to everything, which is good, and then a power generator. Destroying this component will trigger an explosion electrifying anything in the area. Okay. So, let's see if we can get up to this grass. Now... Okay, hold on one second. Modify weapons. Okay, we have as much freeze in there as we can reasonably expect to have. But he is weak to freeze. So here's what we'll do. We'll lay down some blast wires. And then once he walks through them, we'll let loose with the freeze. It did not seem to bother him much.
Now they're hunting me.
Okay. Do this. Now I'm going to switch to my Shield Weaver. Frozen. Ow. Oh, I think I'm stuck somewhere. Oh wow, he did not stay frozen for long. Although he looks like he's hurt. He's got some ranged fire attacks there. Oh, I thought he was going to keep moving. He didn't. Let's see if we can hit his power thing in the back. Oh. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. So that wasn't too bad. I do wish that he stayed frozen for longer than he did. Oh, okay. And yeah, so that was a demonic machine. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. And they're weak to shock and corruption. Demonic machines are more powerful and have stronger elemental resistances than their normal counterparts. They are forced to be reckoned with. So that's why, since he was demonic, I'm pretty sure that's why the freeze didn't last anywhere near as long as we had hoped that it would. Here we go. This is some stuff. I guess we could have walked up the ramp, but whatever. We're Aloy, we can climb. One cool thing too, you can see like it's, you know, a snowing area. It's snowing a lot. Like you can, it's even affecting our armor. Our outfit is covered in snow now. And it's just like a cool little thing I like.
Okay, that's a welcome, I guess.
The Banuk are interesting. They're an interesting people.
You sure you'll be warm enough up here, Nora?
I've worked up a sweat from the climb.
You made it to the cut, Outlander.
Not that you'll stay long.
Smoke rising from the mountain. And the village, too. What's it for?
Okay, we're in Song's Edge. We'll go through and loot all their supply crates. Naturally. I don't specifically know where they are. I'm just wandering around.
Probably going to need it.
But no one seems to mind that I'm just looting their stuff, so...
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
Songs of the lost and eternal.
Alright.
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrind, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead. But not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight and die as well as they did?
My courage! My spear!
Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies are prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machine.
That wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. A little advice, for free.
Aloy.
Aloy. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Aurea, spouting on about spirits and daemons up on Thunder's drum. So they march their Warwick up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. When Aurea vanished, I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin? Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Aurea's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what it's like, she just gave me a dirty look. So if you want to know more, you'll have to find her and make her like you, I guess. Good luck.
What is it about the Banuk you can't make sense of?
Well, everything's a test to them. A hardship to endure. A challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
Yeah. A land cold enough to crack teeth, filled with wild animals. You think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid. Don't believe me, I've tried to convince them. But a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
And Aurea is the one who spoke about this daemon?
That's right. Told Aratak and the others that it lives up on Thunder's drum. And they believed him.
But you don't.
Look, I don't know what Aurea found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Aurea's not around to explain. She took off, and no one knows why.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Warwick chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish. But when he and Aurea came to town with their Warwick, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. You know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. So much for my best customers.
What are these Warwicks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Yeah, not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Warwicks come and go. Some last as long as metal. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Warwicks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Warwick has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
Aye. Back home, some fur traders told me about this steel-forsaken heap of tents. Good location. Ripe for change. We were barely scraping by until this place started filling up for Araya. A great prophet is coming, they said. I heard prophet. Honest mistake. Not that the Banuk are stingy, they just prefer to keep trade among themselves. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map. Or at least on a map.
We?
Me and my daughter. My assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No. Independent. Look for her at Long Notch, the easternmost Banuk camp.
I want to know more about this Damon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then, you need to find Araya. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rafts. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrand.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if Aratak could tell me more about Araya or Thunderstrom. Might be worth a shot.
Alrighty. See what Aratak has to
I
say.
do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be done. Do you understand?
My chieftain.
Good. Outlander, I suppose you wish to speak?
There are other Weraks in Song's Edge too?
Yes. The village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last, until the Karja seek war again.
Araya knows about this Damon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
This Damon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
Did your Werak come from this place?
No, we rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the Daemon. But I was born here, and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I have put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? It would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. I prefer deeds to words.
Right.
Fair enough. Alright, let's take a look at our map. Yeah, there's our merchant. We gotta go take a look at that merchant. But we'll pick up all these side quests and stuff too.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood.
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Lowlai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, until it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the old ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. I'd explain it by playing for you if I could. But its pipes are deep under the water now.
So Deep Din is a place and a musical instrument?
Yes. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous basin. A wondrous edifice the old ones used to carry music far and wide. During the war, my father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Karja. I'm the drummer now, but our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it, or to remember my family. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? Or remembering?
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent?
Peace and harmony.
Oops. Fell. Okay. So these are our special bows. So we have the champion bow, which has the frost, shock, and corruption arrows. And it has better base stats, and you can charge up more powerful shots. It's the power shot bow, which has the precision and terror blast ones. And then the striker bow, which is just the bog standard one. This might be what we go for first. I mean, it has a base handling of 80. And I think... I don't know what our base handling is, but it's still pretty good. And then we have... Oh. It's slow health recovery over time. That's actually not bad. Well, I guess we're going to have to buy that at some point as well. So that's another 5,000 shards. And we need to start saving our glass. I wish I'd known about that. This is just the frost resist one, but it has very good base frost resist plus 3 modification slots instead of just 2. Same thing, but for fire. And then this is our stealth. And it has 3 modification slots instead of 2, making it that much better than the armor we already have. And yeah, it also have all these things are purchased with Blue Gleam. I don't know what's in them other than the Gambler's box. It just has a bunch of Shard Gambler's boxes. But we're going to save our Blue Gleam and get all that stuff later. Oh, wow. I didn't... Okay, well, we're going to have to buy these eventually. Badger bones, goat skin, and badger bones. Okay. Well, that just increased the amount of shards we need to farm by... what's that? 6,500 or something? Okay, and this person doesn't have... I guess they do have some of them. They don't have all of them, that's for sure. And they do have... Oh, yeah, I didn't realize. I must not have sold at the end of the supplemental episode that I recorded.
On our own breed. We
Oops,
deserve a paint.
but that's fine. Okay. There was another quest somewhere. Oh, that's a specialty merchant of some kind.
Great Werak is put together like a machine with each part.
There's that other quest giver.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small, it was she who led us through the fruit.
Yeah, I guess we can climb up to this person.
Outlanders. You spend a week in the cut, then go home to tell your friends how tough.
Feels like if I blink, my eyes will fall shut.
No weakness. I'd trust my kin with my life.
Oh, here we go. I don't remember. I know this NPC is, or this merchant's for some it's specialty. I just don't remember. It's been so long.
Quite a view you've got up here.
It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew, but a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments, like none have seen.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Banur. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean. That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
Do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are a call to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward. But I'd reward you as well.
Okay. So that's one of the maps we can buy that costs 2,000 shards, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Maybe we should have spent more time farming in the last supplemental episode, but...
We don't have time to show you around.
Alright, well, nothing crazy, but hey. Oh, there is a zip line. Whoop, maybe not. Boy, it sure looks like I should be able to zipline that. I don't think I can, so we're just gonna...
Why do the cliffs need fancy colors spread across the...
There we go. Okay, I'll pick up this quest.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small, it was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken...
As much as I would like to sit and listen to that, that definitely feels like a supplemental episode kind of thing. So we'll do that another time.
No more music.
Think you could cover it and paint it?
Okay, if I want to learn more about how this daemon affects the machines, I've got to find Maria. To do that,
Outlander,
I need to
wait,
talk to her
wait a
apprentice,
moment.
who followed the river north.
That weapon of yours, Outlander, that spear. I can see the blue light upon it.
This? It was made by an acquaintance of mine.
Ah, a shaman.
No. More of a tinker?
A tinker does not understand the spark in the metal, the song in the metal like this. But it could be improved upon, modified with the help of the old ones. Far north of here there is a cave, a shaft in the snow. Within it is a nest of metal birds. Find a bird that hasn't been stripped by shamans past. Look for a rail inside it, the length of your spear. That's all I can tell you.
Get a rail from some metal birds in a cave. Sounds perfectly normal.
Yeah. And we will, at some point. Alrighty. Let's head up to this campfire. Now, we need to keep an eye out for goats and badgers. 'Cause we need their bones, we need their skins. We're back to this. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of stuff. The collectibles, just like in the main series, will pretty much... We're not going to ignore them. If we find them, we'll pick them up, but I'm not going to worry about them too much until we get to the
Outlanders.
supplemental
Outlanders.
episodes. We'll focus on them in the supplementals.
Thought I'd see that sunrise. Prince Edaman is alive and in the palace.
Okay, let's go find Naltuk real quick. See what he's up to. See what we can find out about where Aurea might be and if we can find her. If we can go catch up to her. Go!
That'll keep my stomach quiet. That must be Naltuk, looking out at that tower. Naltuk?
Who are you? How did you find me?
Bergrand told me you'd be out here.
He's persistent. I've told that Oseram 1,000 times. I don't need to buy anything.
And I'm not selling. I just need to find Aurea.
Well, you won't. She's gone where only shamans can tread. She seeks guidance from the voice in the blue light. That is her task. And the task she gave me is to observe the daemon's work. To stop it spreading, if I can. But what can I do about these towers? In only a few weeks, they've sprouted throughout the cut. The daemon's energy pulses from them. Rallies the machines, even repairs them.
Aratak said this daemon was frenzying machines.
Look there. Those with the purple markings. They belong to the daemon. They're stronger, more dangerous.
I've seen something like this before. The corruption. But it wasn't from your daemon.
You have? Well, then you know more than I do. These towers, were they part of your corruption?
Those are new to me too.
Like I said, they empower the daemon's machines. They must be stopped.
Will you tell me where Aurea went?
You ask a lot of questions.
Only when I'm not getting the answers I need.
There's but one voice Aurea wants to hear right now, and it isn't yours. I'm sorry.
Alright, you want to stop the spread of the daemon's work? I know how to get started. With my bow and spear.
Outlander, wait. Won't you tell me your name?
Aloy.
Good. If you fall to the daemon's machines, at least I can properly recount your efforts to Aurea.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. But I won't fall. And when I'm done, you're gonna tell me where she is.
Yeah. Alright. So this tower...
I can kill the machines. What about the tower?
Okay. Repairs and provides shock resistance to hostile machines, stuns overridden machines. We can destroy the cooling element to remove the ability to repair machines. And as an override point, overriding it removes repair and resistance abilities, stuns hostile machines. So, I think that's what we're going to do first.
Okay then, let's see if this thing can work for me.
Excellent. Alrighty. Now, I think this they keep calling it demonic. If I call it demonic, it might get confusing after a while. Alright, let's try this. Weapons. Sharp shot. I think this is the last demonic machine here. And we overrode the tower. So we just need to get... Okay, now we're gonna switch over to our shield weaver. Protect ourselves. Now this thing's pretty fucked up already. It seems to not be attacking us. Maybe it's because of where we're at. So maybe this is kind of cheating a little bit. But that worked. That went well, and I think we do still have... We're going to swap back to our stealth armor here. I think we have this scrapper that we didn't loot. Yeah, didn't have much on him, but whatever. Let's go back, talk to Neltook again.
We should speak.
Seems I can take care of the machines and towers. The daemon's next.
You claimed its power for yourself somehow. Perhaps Aurea should meet you after all. What she truly seeks is hope. After what I just saw, you could show her that. She's in retreat beyond those mountains, the ice rasps. You'll have to walk the shaman's path to get there. You'll know you've reached the end when you come to a shrine. A great machine covered in blue gleam. Shamans who complete the path take a piece of it as reward. If you make it that far, you should too. You'll have earned it.
You said something about blue gleam at the end of the shaman's path?
A crystal that builds on the bodies of machines in the oldest ice. We Banuk believe it's the stuff of the blue light, frozen as it escapes their shells. You might be more interested that merchants will trade well for it.
Bergren told me you're Araya's apprentice.
In her absence, I serve the chieftain and his werak as an advisor, a scout, a speaker for the blue light.
A lot of responsibilities.
I don't know if I can live up to Araya's example, but I have to try. I owe her that much. She took a chance on me. An aspiring shaman from the edge of the world. No one else would.
Were you with Araya when they attacked the mountain?
I wish I had been, even with all that happened. I'm no warrior, though, so she bid me wait. When Araya and the chieftain returned, I saw them argue bitterly. I don't know what about exactly. Then she came to me, gave me my task, and left us.
How do I cross this shaman's path?
Go to the ice rasps. Then follow the markers through the ice caves and the waterfalls, and make the climb to the shrine. But be careful. The path is meant to be an ordeal, the final trial of a young shaman's training.
And I'll find Araya at the end of it?
No. She goes further up, somewhere inside the mountain. If you see her, would you tell her, I have faith she will hear the voice again.
Alrighty.
I'm off to the ice rasps to find this shaman's path.
Sort of. We're gonna do that. But first, so for right now, we're gonna end this episode. And then in the next one, as we just saw on the map just a second ago, there is a tall neck in this area. We're gonna take the bridge to get over here. But there's a tall neck in this area. And tall necks are awesome to complete first in a new area. So we're going to do that in the beginning of the next part. But first we're going to end this one. So as always, I will say thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next part.